join the night. God Daddy's in the building, broadcasting live from places unknown. Joining me, as always, on the stick, he's that bad dad of COD. You might know him as Muscle V, but we know him as Dixie.
Yo, yo.
And our executive producer, the man that shirts have forgotten. He is the Pantsman.
Your new AirPods aren't great.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to try it for tonight. And while we're at it, you can feel free to ask me anything, for I am your king of COD. I am Jeeves. I welcome you to another edition of Call of Daddy 2. We're turning up the heat as part of Season 2. We're talking what you do without AC. But before we get into that, Muscle V, why don't you remind us what happened last time?
Last time on COD Daddies, our heroes talked all things 5 on Cinco de Five. The heroes discussed the best things that were trending 5, or the best things that come in 5s. Moving on to the best 5, the heroes had the Power Rangers on their mind by breaking down the history of the Power Rangers. With the heroes battling Godzilla and Kong, the scoring has paused. Let's listen in as the heroes continue on to their next battle.
I love that you've teamed up to fight monsters. Like, you're like, no, we can't be competitive at this point. We have to work together because monsters are among us.
Yes.
That's
blimps.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's exactly right. And most of the time we're in vehicles in this mode. So as you know, vehicle kills don't count. It would be basically senseless to keep playing through.
You said,
crap.
as you know, as if any of us knew that.
That's a well-established rule. You can go back through the lore. That's absolutely something we've said time and time again, and it's still true today.
I've never listened to that bit.
You've never listened, period.
Fair.
If my voice gets really bad tonight, you're going to have to tell me.
Yeah, I couldn't hear what you just said.
Oh, no. Is that a joke or is that real?
No, that was real.
All right.
I heard like half of it.
How about this? Is this much better?
It's better.
All right. I think I just talked louder, so I think that'll be how I go about this.
Right.
Anyway, as established tonight, we're talking air conditioning specifically because somebody has been going through sweet, sweet hell. Most importantly, we're here to make sure you're alive. Pantsman, are you okay? Tell us what's going on.
Oh my gosh. Well, so we weren't on last week in part because I was not available.
It's always the hackers.
Right,
the hackers got us in
sure
many facets last week. They actually attacked each one of us individually.
They made it very personal this time. They've hacked my air conditioning. So it happened that this was the first real heat wave of the season in my area, reaching, mid to high 80s outside. I live on a third floor apartment, which is the top floor of my building. And the first day of the heat, it was Tuesday was the first hot day. And this is my week actually physically going into work instead of working from home. So I went into the office and everybody was like, oh yeah, I turned my AC on before I left today. I had to remember to do that. And I was like, oh, that would have been a good idea. Didn't think to. So I get home, it's like mid 80s in my apartment.
You actually deserve everything that's about to happen to you.
I know, right? Well, I didn't even check the weather. I didn't realize it was going to be so hot. Like, I had no sense this was coming. I just was oblivious. So I get home. It's very warm. I turn on the AC, and it seems like it's not really cooling down very quickly, but I just figure it takes a while. It's going from very hot, and I don't know how good usually the AC is just on in the summer, so I don't really think about how hard it has to work to go from, 0 to cool. So anyway, I go to bed, I wake up in the morning, and it's cooled off. It's not, it gets cool overnight, so it's not that warm in the morning. So I go to work, come back, lava hot again. And now I'm like, well, I know the AC was on, so clearly something else is going on. So I'm at home and I'm opening all the windows and I'm trying to figure this out. And I put in a maintenance request through my landlord. Now this system, usually they're very good about maintenance. Usually you put in the thing and that day or the next day they're going to come, they're going to fix the thing that needs fixed. But it's kind of a black hole because the system where you punch in your information and say I need this fixed doesn't give you any kind of email confirmation or acknowledgement that that was submitted. There's no ticket that says like we've come and we did the thing we said we'd do. Like you just if you're not there when they come, you have no idea if they came or not. You have no idea if they're working on it or they're ignoring you. So it's very frustrating. You know, I go to work on Wednesday or Thursday, whatever day it was, thinking they're gonna fix it. I'm gonna come home to a cool apartment, and no, not even close. It was so hot. And so I was like, well, crap. So I start emailing and texting the landlord, trying to figure out what is going on. I finally get some answers. It was 25 units across their properties that had ACs that were broken. Because again, first heat of the year, apparently none of us thought a few weeks ago when it was just warm and not hot, maybe I should test the AC, make sure it's working. I now know that's the thing I should do. So I'm getting it fixed before everybody else is getting theirs fixed. But yeah, it's been very hot. Friday, I actually debated. I hate physically going into work, but on Friday, I was like, if I don't want to boil in my apartment, I think I have to like go into the office again. And then I said, fuck it, and I just stayed home. So I kind of suffered a little bit. It wasn't too bad with the windows open. And then thankfully this weekend it cooled off a bit. So it's still warm, but not like hot out. So like right now, it is about 78 degrees in my apartment, which is not for the summer, like not a bad temperature to be at.
Yeah, I mean, so obviously you were asking for these problems.
Made
But
some mistakes.
I know that you also are like a big religious guy, so you must have pissed off God. So what did you do? Like, why has this happened to you?
Well, I think it's less about God. It's more about superstition. I think I tested the fates by trusting first that the weather wouldn't be that hot and I could just not even worry about turning on the AC. And then I tested them again by waking up the next morning and not verifying that the AC had worked and just like it's probably doing its thing. And then a third time, I was like, well, I trust that this maintenance has been submitted and they're going to fix it and I'm going to come home. I just kept trusting that the system worked. And this system doesn't work. I live in America. I know the system doesn't work.
So
You know it doesn't work.
Are you saying you trust too much?
I'm too trusting. Yes.
Yeah, I'm surprised that you've been pretty silent so far, but you've expressed that no AC is your actual waking nightmare. Is that correct?
Yeah, I definitely hate AC. I don't know, like,
You hate
'cause
AC? Wait a minute.
no, I hate not having AC.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
because I was gonna say I had the issue earlier this year where I didn't have any heat, and that fucking sucked. And so I was trying to figure out, is it better to have no heat or no AC?
And
I mean, people can die from no heat, or excuse me, no AC. But I feel like it typically is like older people, and it usually has to be really, really hot. Whereas I feel like if you're going without heat in the winter, again, you could die. But more importantly, I feel like you're gonna have pipes bursting, and it's gonna cause real long-term damage to your house.
Yeah, so I mean, what I came up with was I think no AC is worse because if there's no heat, you can at least like get space heaters. You can put on more clothing. Like,
That's true.
yeah,
also, that is actually one of the interesting things with babies, though, because that is a difficult thing to navigate when it comes to little childs that can't regulate their heat.
yep.
Um, that was a challenge. We were worried about losing the heat during I don't know the thing when there was power outages across the country. Thankfully, it didn't happen, but it's not like you can just keep layering them up.
That's true.
Right? Obviously, for you can because you can feel what's going on.
I'm sorry, I am out of the loop. Are you telling me that babies are lizards? What are you saying?
Hmm.
They're not lizards, but they can't regulate their body heat until I think 18 months. So,
Really?
yeah, neither of our kids right now can regulate their body.
What does that mean? Regulate their body temperature? Like they're not literally cold blooded, but what does it mean?
I don't know what it means like biologically, but I know like you'll feel like my daughter's feet and they'll be ice cold and you're like, oh
Hmm.
no, her
Yep.
feet are about to fall off. It's like, no, that's fine. You just have to feel the vital organ area. You have to feel the neck.
Oh shit,
Those are really
Godzilla's gonna blow.
Yeah.
No, no, face him again. I want to see.
Yeah, I am.
that's right. You can only see his screen. I'm shooting Godzilla right in the face. It's going great
Yeah.
with a tank.
Oh, you gotta get a tank, Muscle B.
Yeah, there's one right there.
Sorry, this is the most we've ever commented on the game in this show, and the most we've ever acknowledged it. I've never had nothing interesting has ever happened before, but suddenly
Also,
Godzilla's there.
very fun. You'll recall that we had Envy, I think it was, end in a single point. Like,
Yeah.
hell of a kill down. I don't know what you're talking
Yeah, a close game that I wasn't following isn't interesting. Godzilla's
about.
always
Oh,
interesting.
shit, we got first place.
Oh wow. Yeah, that was crazy.
Go us. Huh?
Wow.
Fucker's shooting me. Get. Oh my god.
Don't worry, I'll get our supply crate. It'll be fine.
Yeah, there's a little fucker somewhere over here.
You don't know that he's little.
I mean, he could be a big fucker.
Yeah, he can be a big fucker.
Maybe it's Donkey Kong.
There's a guy right there.
Oh, man, I can't believe it. You can be so mad. Yeah, this is tough to fight Godzilla and still talk. Better than I expected.
Yeah, I will say, based on Jeeves' point, there are times like where it's like 73, 74 in my house. Like going up to my son's room and then, like his feet are like cold or his like hands are cold. Like, and you wouldn't think like 73, 74, like you would be cold, right?
No. So what do? You just like touch them until they're warm, or what?
No, you just with like the feet and hands, you're just like, it's fine.
Yeah, it's whatever. You can't really do anything about it.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, or if they're too hot, like if the feet and the hands are hot, you just okay. Well, how's the important stuff? Oh, we're good. Okay, great.
Wild.
Yeah, it is wild, especially because the first time you feel their hands, you're just like, this isn't normal. You call.
You're the
call the
first
doctor.
time you're saying to yourself, "I failed as a parent."
Yeah, no, that's probably not the first time you've said that, but yeah.
I didn't say that. I just said the first time you.
Yeah, okay, you're right. Yeah.
Feel the feet. You're saying you feel as a parent. I know you've failed many times before then.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I was hoping you were going to be driving this boat. I'm not going to lie. Like you're just kind of exploring the boat. I was hoping you were going to drive it.
Can't drive the boat.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
Don't even put a boat if I can't drive it. You know?
Agreed. I can shoot him in the face though.
Yeah. So anyway, so we're here tonight. We're discussing the lack of AC in Pantsman's apartment and how all of us would deal with that. So to lead into any of that, Pantsman, I believe you have some listener mail for us. We're going to start early with that tonight. Probably because your brain's melted. I assume that you have no idea how the show works anymore.
Yeah, well, we've been piling up all this mail, and I just thought, when you got this big giant bag full of mail because we haven't, the hackers have kept us away.
Yeah, we
So with
still
all
get
this-
mail. You're saying we get mail even without the shows?
Yeah, tons. And so, I can't burn it because, good God, we've already established the heat situation.
If you just leave it in a corner in your apartment, it won't just burn itself.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking. I'm just thinking, let's go through some of it, and by some of it, I mean one thing, and at least get some of it out of here, So here goes. Let's open this one, see what this is. Okay. Oh, it's a birthday card. Oh, that's nice. I mean, it's a little late. My birthday's over, but... Oh, that's weird. Okay, so this is a birthday card, but it's not for me. It is a birthday card from our alma mater. I won't say it because that's identifying information or whatever, but our alma mater sent a birthday card for the alma mater. So it's as if I sent myself a birthday card for myself, or if I sent like you a birthday card for me. Like they sent a birthday card.
I think you've done that.
This is very odd. They've sent a birthday card for themselves. I think okay. So this is one of those things where they're trying to get me money. So here's the thing.
Weird. Our alma mater's never asked us for money once. It's the first time.
I graduated many moons ago, and in the over decade since I graduated, I have moved to half a dozen different places. I've lived in different cities, in different apartments, in different places. Never have I ever lived anywhere in my life that I didn't get physical mail from our alma mater asking for money in increasingly creative ways.
How do they keep finding you?
I don't know.
Sometimes the government can't find you, but our alma mater finds you every time.
Oh, well, they talk. Have you ever heard of the thing where you can go to like a website and claim missing money? Like you might have a paycheck you never cashed, or some money out there that you're owed that you never claimed, and so it just goes to the government, and they just hold on to it until you check and find it. Like there's money that can't find its way to you that you are owed. But the minute you move into a new address, your university has figured out exactly where you are and is sending you mail. But this is interesting. So it's got a little card here. It says, "Make a student's life forever brighter." And it's clearly asking for money, which is amazing. So this is the 112th anniversary, apparently, of this school. And so on the card, it says you can give $50, you can give $250, you can give $1,000 if you want. You can put your own amount, but they highlighted in bold the amount of $112. Like, okay, yeah, well, since you're that old, I guess I'll give you tons of money just cause.
Yeah, that's like 112 or 120?
112.
I think it says our 120th album.
It's not. It's our 112th year. It's not even a landmark year. It's not like I've never gotten a birthday card before. On the 110th year, they didn't send something like this. But randomly on 112, they're like, you know what this is? A milestone that deserves celebrating.
Yeah, the big 112.
I mean, if you're a person, go for it. Absolutely. But an institution, fuck off.
I love the idea that you get $1 for every year you've been born from anyone that's giving you money. I think that's great.
I mean, that's not a bad idea, but again, not a university that already got thousands of dollars from me.
When you're one, like.
So
now I will say, so I've come up with a plan. So I've got this prepaid envelope, which I don't think they actually have to pay any postage unless I mail something. So I'm going to send the card back using their envelopes. They'll be charged 50 cents or whatever postage is up to. But I'm not actually going to donate anything. I'm just going to see if by charging them postage, they'll get the hint that this is that I should be taken off the list, and I'm costing them more money than I'm worth.
What's the website to see if you're owed money? Because I'm probably am owed money at some point, right?
So you can just Google your state plus like missing funds or lost funds or anything like that. And you'll go to
Stop. Must be. You don't have to. No one owes you money. Stop it.
I might be owed money. Somebody
Who would owe you money?
Somebody somewhere. Somewhere I'm owed money.
Well, I will say, I did it. I heard a podcast about it, and they were talking about how like most people have some, even if it's a very small amount, like $40 or something. Most people have some amount of money they haven't claimed that is just sitting for them if they were to bother to log into this website. And so I did it. I checked my name and like all of my immediate family's name, and I didn't find anything in any of the cities I've lived. So I feel like either it's not really as prevalent as people say, or it's possible that I've just never not paid attention to the money owed to me. I'm just really stingy and insist on following all of my money.
I mean, I love the idea of that, but if someone owed me money, I don't know how to be stingy. I don't know what I would do. I don't have an enforcer like at my best. Like, well,
You don't need
an
an enforcer. It's literally things like you were sent a paycheck that you never received for some reason and you never cashed it, or something like that. And so it's not like and you don't have to enforce anything. You just like log in. If it says your name, you have this money in this fund, you just claim it. You don't need an enforcer.
I feel like I've had direct deposit my whole life, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Why would someone owe me money?
I don't know, man. There could be a tax return that got routed wrong that you didn't notice, or I don't know, things. Maybe this actually could be you. If you ever were owed like a part of your security deposit, but they couldn't find you, so they didn't send it back to you.
Do you know who you're talking to? Before I met a Lil Fuse, I never was owed. Actually, before I met Lil Fuse, I was never owed a security deposit. I didn't know you could get those back for the longest time.
I remember the day I was helping you move, and we were cleaning up your apartment at the end, and I was going through. Remember the BBs?
Yeah.
We had a BB fight. I don't think we had a BB gun. I think we were just throwing BB balls, right?
Luke, I'm going to call him that. he had a BB gun.
Okay. I don't remember actually shooting any kind of weapon. I just remember
you were not allowed to touch it.
No, that would be a mistake.
It was like one of those dangerous BB guns. Like you could hurt somebody with those.
Yeah.
And you would have.
Yes, I would have. But yeah, I just remember we were throwing BBs all around the apartment, and so I was like going through and I was like cleaning up all these BBs, and I was like scrubbing this and that, and I was really trying to clean the thing. And I remember at one point you said to me, you just came over and you said, "Man, you can go. You don't have to do this anymore." And I'm like, "What?" And you're like, "I'm not getting that security deposit back. That's a lost cause. We're not gonna clean this enough. That's not a thing. Just go. It's fine."
I've never gotten one. There's no reason to. I definitely did.
I've never not gotten it back. I've never gotten less than the full amount, I don't think.
We got dinged freshman year because Crazy Hair cut a hole through our screen.
Yes, I remember that. The guy who climbed up we were trying to get back in the building because you locked yourselves out or something, and so the guy climbed the scaled the walls 3 stories to knife his way through a screen back into the dorm.
Yeah, that was actually super crazy. Watching it was like, oh, this is normal. Looking back, it's like, holy shit, what was that guy doing? It was good though. It was better than not being in our dorm.
Yeah.
So worth I think whatever we had to pay for that.
I think we lost like $30 or something. It wasn't major.
How much does a dorm security deposit?
Well, I just stayed at a condo for vacation. They wanted a $350 security deposit.
Not the same question.
It's a security deposit.
The dorm room is very different than a condo.
I don't know how much it was for the dorm room. I didn't pay it.
As established, the dorm knows how to find you. Your alma mater will find you no matter where you go. They're not worried about. Not like
they know where you live, whether you move or not.
No, all right. Thank you for the listener mail. The question was, how much will you donate? What was the question?
Yeah, the question, well, let me see if there's an actual question mark anywhere on here. Because I'm sure they're saying, like, please donate. But I doubt they're actually saying, will you donate? Yeah, it doesn't have any actual question mark.
What will you donate? How will you help?
Yeah, there is no call to action. There's no question. It is literally just, by the way, we're turning an age. Give us our money now.
Well, our alma mater, you're an idiot. Ask us a question if you're going to.
Oh wait, I should have read the copy. This copy is intriguing. Like any good birthday party, there will be cake. All donors who make a gift of $112 or more will receive a piece of cake, and then in parentheses it says, seriously, we will send you some cake.
Oh, you should do it.
I I am honestly intrigued. I would love to see what $112 piece of cake comes in the mail as.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, that would definitely be the most expensive cake I've ever purchased. And I doubt it'll be any good, but it is
I mean,
intriguing.
it's in the mail though. I mean, of course, I don't know how it would be good. I don't know how you would have. But if it
Oh
was
man,
good, oh
but
man.
real talk. So over the weekend, I was at a friend's house and she had bought this dozen cupcakes from this fancy place that made big, massive, delicious cupcakes. And like, there was not 12 people at this thing. So it was going to be hard to get through all the cupcakes, but I just remember I grabbed one and then everybody else like, I don't know. And then like most of the people like cut one in half and had like half a piece of, and I'm like, first of all, there's plenty of cupcake to go around. You can take a cupcake. Second of all, like, who are these people that don't want a whole cupcake? What is wrong with people?
How big are we talking? This doesn't really this doesn't really track. I never would, but I could eat 12 cupcakes.
Well,
No real problem.
is this the same group that splits a burger?
Yeah, right. It has to be.
Same friend group. That
Yeah.
guy was not there. He actually has COVID, so he was not there.
Well,
The same friend
there's
group.
a lot-
Yeah.
being a lot
Same
of-
friend group, yeah. Yeah, I just and the thing is, I'm confident that the person who is hosting this, you know how it is when you go out of your way to get things, like you want everybody to eat all the food so that you know that it was good. And so like part of my Midwesternness is just like, not only do I want to eat that cake, but I feel like you're being rude by not just grabbing a full cupcake.
Yeah.
Just eat the damn thing. Delicious. What's your problem?
Get over yourself. How good out of 10? How good was this cupcake?
I mean, if I'm being honest, it was like a 5. But I'm not much of a cupcake guy. I don't think they're that exciting. And my problem with this cupcake specifically was that the buttercream frosting was too buttery. Like it just tasted like they smothered it in butter. Like it didn't really have any of the.
Not hearing a problem at all. It sounds great.
I like a sweeter frosting. I know some people like it when it's more buttery and less sweet, but it just tastes like butter, and I want it to taste like frosting.
It's interesting. I don't. I'm all that over. Did you take one to go?
Well, I think I was telling you about this off mic. So I didn't leave till pretty late, and by the time I left, I was very, very tired. And so I think if she had
for strength.
if she had offered, hey, do you want to take a cupcake? I certainly would have, but I didn't think to ask. And also, I was taking a bike home, so I don't know how that would have traveled.
That late at night on a bike, is that even safe?
Fine.
That is a good question, actually. Do you have?
I had a choice.
there?
I had a choice. I could wait 5 to 10 minutes for an Uber and then have a 15 to 20 minute drive and pay like $40, or I could pay less than $10, get on an electronic bike that goes super zippy and be home in like 20 minutes. And so I went with the bike option. I love it.
And
I love the bike.
maybe get killed. Maybe you could have gotten murdered by a.
It's honestly, there's not that much traffic that late.
Yeah, but the crime.
What crime?
I don't
Well,
know.
there's crime.
Yeah,
There's crime
somewhere.
Nah.
You're not in Bouville, but there is crime.
I mean, crime exists.
You
But
don't think there's crime? You're in a major city. Why do you don't think there's crime?
I don't know. What crime is going to be like, hey, you see that guy on a rented bike? That's the guy we're gonna chase down and mug? Like, what do you think's gonna happen?
We've seen the cut here, Jim. People would definitely mug you just for absolutely.
Yeah.
You got to be top 15 people out and about at that hour.
Look, worst case, and you are turning back into a robot.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, I get killed. Big deal.
Yeah.
There's worse.
You get
Not for the crime you're talking about. Nobody's gonna. What are they gonna kidnap me? Hold me hostage? Like, what do you think's gonna happen?
remove body parts.
Maybe. Yeah, there's Have you seen Saw?
I feel like in Saw you wake up in Saw. Like you don't. It's not because you
You,
were out on a bike.
you got kidnapped while you were out on a bike, and now you're in a Saw movie. It's like Saw 6.
At least I'm in a movie, you know? Something.
Uh, okay. Well, we should probably start talking about why we're here for that, other than the fact that your department has failed you. But when's the AC going to get fixed?
Oh, I do not know. You would so I don't know if I said any of this on mic, but basically
I don't think so.
I found out that there are 25 units that need fixed across their properties. And I was texting you about this over that week, and I remember you said to me, "Where are you on the list? Like, how far down on the 25 are you?"
I was frantic. I was very
You
nervous.
were really losing it. You were more upset about this than the crime that I subjected myself a minute ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
and, and so you know, it was a great question. Where are you on the list of 25? I have no idea. They never gave any indication.
You
What they
still
said
don't
on
know?
Thursday. What they said on
yeah.
Thursday. On Thursday they said, hopefully the maintenance guy will be there tomorrow. But if it's not something the maintenance guy can fix, we may have to have it fixed by like a real HVAC person sometime early next week. So Friday came and went. Nobody came by.
What? There's
And
emergency
then,
AC services. What is going on in this place?
well, I will say I do think AC services are overwhelmed. It's. I know many people across the city that are facing the same thing. So it's not. It happened to all of us all at once.
You have 25 people here, 25 homes you're accommodating.
Also, wouldn't it be
Right.
wouldn't it be this like the similar issue for everyone? Like, I have to imagine they need an HVAC person for your guys' issue. It's not like some maintenance dude can come in and push a button.
Right. Well, the maintenance guy's going to come and see if it's a button he can push. And when he is confirming that it's not, that's when they're going to call the HVAC guy. But bear in mind, when I say 25 units, I don't mean like it's one building with one AC for all of us. It's like 25 apartment buildings scattered across the city. And I have one of the units in one of the buildings that has its AC unit broken. So.
Okay. I thought it was all in one building or a majority.
No,
in one building.
no. It's literally like they've got a bunch of properties, and half or more than half of my particular building has absolutely no problem with their AC. Like there are 3 giant AC units outside that I can see, and I can see 2 of them with a fan moving and one that doesn't move. So clearly that's my fan. That's my AC unit. So anyway, the point is, I don't know where I am in the 25.
Did you try spinning the fan?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just stuck my finger in it
Yeah,
and started
yeah.
spinning.
Oh,
Yeah.
you use a stick. Don't be an animal.
So yeah, I don't know where I'm at. I was told the way it was worded was like probably tomorrow, but maybe at worst early next week. Well, Monday also came and went with not so much as a stop by. So I don't know. I'm gonna message them again tomorrow to be like, all right, still nobody's come by. Like, can we get an update? Is there a timeline here? Like, why have I like if you said you hopefully they'll be over tomorrow and they didn't even make it on Monday, something's off. So
Now, are you gonna ask
we'll
for like
see.
a reduction in like rent for the month because you didn't have like AC for a week?
That's an interesting idea. I honestly hadn't thought of that. I will say
I feel like
if
they
it's
would say no, right? Because it's not their fault.
probably.
But they didn't do their like they didn't get out to you fast enough, I guess.
I mean, I think if so right now it's cooled off. The next couple days are going to be mid 60s as highs. It's not really going to be a burden to not have AC. Right now, it's at a point like all day today. Like even though it was a little warmer today, it was not a burden to not have AC. Thursday, it's back up into the 80s. So on Thursday, I need that AC to working.
So what's the max to your apartment?
Nothing but robot noises.
Yeah, that was.
I'm gonna have to switch.
Have you tried fixing it
Any better?
yourself, Pantsman?
That's hilarious. That's very funny. So no, I have not tried. Well, I mean, I did futz with it. I have like the thermostat because I wasn't sure at first if it was that it was broken or I just didn't know how to set the thermostat right. And so I tried all kinds of things with the thermostat, none of which did anything.
Did you kick it?
No.
Well, you haven't tried everything.
I mean, I don't even know where to kick. Like
I don't know.
I've got like a closet, like a utility closet, but the actual AC unit's outside. So I've got a furnace, but I don't think that's the air conditioner. I think the actual air conditioner is an outside thing. So I don't even think it's in my apartment.
Yeah, so go outside and kick the AC unit. Maybe it'll jumpstart it.
I'm back to wired. Is this better?
Yes.
Boom!
A lot better.
Oh, bummer. I'll have to figure out what's going on there. All right. Anyway, so what's the max that you got in your apartment?
The max temperature?
Yeah.
I saw it get as high as 88.
Oh my god.
That's unlivable. That's absolutely not a livable temperature. That temperature alone is good enough that you should get, I don't know, a month of rent free. Forget the utilities.
I will say the landlord probably is going to say it wasn't his fault it broke.
I give a fuck.
But he needed to service it faster.
You're paying for a service you're not getting. At the very least, you shouldn't be paying for the utilities.
Well, I mean...
You also are paying for a space to live in. 88 is an unlivable temperature.
I mean, yes, you're right. Bear in mind, 88 was the temperature when I came home after a full day of windows closed, no attempt to cover the curtains, and no AC because I thought it was running. So that was like when I made no effort to mitigate the rising temperature in the apartment because I didn't realize the AC wasn't running. So that was kind of the worst of it. Once I opened windows and created airflow and blocked out sunlight and did things that like kept the heat from rising throughout the day and like allowed it to cool overnight. It really hasn't been that unbearable. Friday was the worst because that was the only day that I was fully at home all day. And it wasn't that hot. It wasn't like unbearable hot. It was just like stuffy and unpleasant.
What was the temp? Did you check?
It was like mid-80s, but it wasn't as high as 88. It was like 85.
That is untenable.
If you had said to me...
Stockholm syndrome at that point, there's no reason why that is an acceptable temperature.
If you had told me that the temperature was even at 80 or even 79, if you said your apartment's going to be 79 degrees, I would have been like, I would move. Like, there's just nothing I would be able to handle that. But to my surprise, it has been not as bad as I thought it would be.
It's not because good. When it was 88 degrees, your brain melted. You're losing parts of your body.
I will say the one day that I was here all day and it was a full work day and it was still a hot day. Like this weekend, it was quite cool. By the end of that work day, I did feel a little bit like I literally texted people. I was like, who wants to go out tonight? Because I need out of this house. Like, it's just too hot.
Now, I will say, Pantsman, you do have experience in hot temperatures. Freshman year.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, your room was always the hottest.
Well, so that's a whole other story. So my roommate in college in freshman year, weird story. He liked extreme temperatures. How are you going to tell this? So he didn't like between like 70 degrees. Just think 70 degrees. That's kind of that mild, medium temperature, that very comfortable temperature that's not too hot, not too cold. 70 degrees. Think of that as like the kind of Goldilocks or whatever.
That's fine.
He was like, I don't like that. So we had a thermostat that was just a simple dial up and down, and he would turn it all the way up to 90, which was how it maxed out. So we fucking sauna. I mean, it was ridiculous.
Why is that even a temperature that you can turn to?
It was crazy. I mean, I would wake up in a sweat and be like, what the fuck is going on? Like, at first I thought it was a malfunction. Then I found out he just and I thought it was a mistake too. I was like, oh, he must have turned it too far.
No,
Like, he
no
wasn't
normal
thinking.
human would do that.
No, no. And it turned, and when I said, like, I can't do this, we can't keep it this hot, it's not okay. He was like, well, okay, why don't we turn it to like 50, which was like the other extreme. And I was like,
What?
50?
I would definitely
What
take
is
50.
wrong with you?
I would definitely take 50 over 90 in the dorm for sure.
Still, it was like, what do you mean? Like, you want it to be super hot, but if it can't be super hot, you want it to be super cold? Like, how about normal? And he was like, I don't like that. So yeah, we eventually came to an agreement. We got it to, I don't remember what the temperature was, 75, 60, I don't know what it was, but we got it to like a human temperature. And then a few weeks later, I woke up and I sweat again. And I was like, oh my God, it's hot here. And I was ready to lose it. I mean, I was ready to fight him. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? And he goes, Pantsman, I have a cold. And he said in that tone of like, you'll get this, but don't be unreasonable. Here's a perfectly valid reason for why it has to be 90 degrees in here. And I was like, you have a cold? What the hell does that matter? What are you talking about?
Rip the thing off the wall.
And he's like, what happens when you have a cold? And I was like, I'm not playing these games with you. Just tell me what you're going to say. And he goes, you have a fever. A fever is your body's way of raising the temperature so that it kills the bacteria and the virus that is living in your body. You have to, so when I have a cold, I have to turn up the heat to simulate a fever to burn these bugs out of my body. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah. Sorry, that's not how he said it.
Probably said it much more flowerily. But yeah, I was like, first of all, I have absolutely no idea if there's any science to back up what you're describing. I doubt it.
Well, yeah, you know how hospitals are notoriously heat traps.
I was like, I don't think that's true. I don't think that's doing anything. But even if it does, it's not worth it. We can't do that. He did bend. He did kind of allow me to turn it back down. I think we compromised on that one. I was like, as long as you're sick, we can keep it at 80, but we're not doing 90. That's just not happening.
It's not reasonable.
Yeah.
I have all the viruses. I don't care. 80 degrees. Get out of here. That's how people die, as far as I'm concerned.
80 is not really that bad.
You're a nutcase. I don't think you know how to talk about this topic properly if you think 80 is fine.
Here's the thing. In the winter, I keep my thermostat at like 68-ish. Like, I try to keep it a little bit colder than I would be most comfortable because I'm trying to conserve my bill or whatever. And then in the summer, it's the opposite. I will keep it around 78-ish because I would like it a little bit cooler, but I'm willing to tolerate a little bit hotter in order to save on the bill a little bit.
Yeah, no, that's psychopathic behavior. 78 is unreasonable, which is why 88 is unreasonable.
Well, I'll tell you, it's 78 in here right now, and I feel like if it was 78 in my apartment with the air on, it would be very comfortable. Like, this is starting to feel a little stuffy. It's getting better because the windows are open and it's cold out now. But, like, 78 in, like, humid temperatures, or humidity, like, that feels very different than, like, an air-conditioned 78. Because, like, it sucks all the moisture out of the air.
No. Everything you're saying is nonsense. Get out of here. That's way too hot for inside a building.
No, but what I'm saying is not nonsense. It is true that the way an AC unit works is it sucks the moisture out of the air. So when you have the same temperature technically, but it's very, very humid, it's going to feel warmer than if you have that with no humidity in the same temperature.
Wait, you're saying that no... Wait. You're saying
it feels...
AC it's like a dry heat.
It is, yeah.
Okay.
It's literally how it works. It
well,
sucks.
That's fine. 78 is still an unreasonable temp to be at.
Okay.
I don't care how tempered the air is. It's absolutely unreasonable. There's a line, and it's 72.1. Wow. That is as high as you're allowed to go.
I will say in the summer, there are times where I will go outside, I'll be out in the heat, and I'll come back and I'm like, I want it cold. I want to really enjoy the frigid temperatures and I'll turn it down to 72, and it'll feel good immediately after like being out in the sun and kind of overheating. Um, by the time my body kind of cools off, I'm starting to shiver at 72 in the summer in air conditioning.
You accused babies of being a lizard. Are you a lizard? What are you talking about? Do you know what temperatures are? Are you talking about Celsius or some shit? Or Kelvin? I don't understand. What do you mean you shivered at 72?
I think it can feel really cold at 72 degrees in your apartment.
Because you don't have active blood flow. What are you talking about? When I was telling you guys that I was going through all my AC, my heating and cooling issues, I was saying that I was melting at 76. That was me melting.
Oh.
I'm at 73 right now.
So less
pretty
than 88.
comfortable.
Yeah, so okay, who's on the more unreasonable side here? Muscle B. I
would say Pantsman. There's no way 78 is comfortable.
Thank you. Absolute nonsense. I don't care how conditioned your air is. Whatever you're talking about is crazy. I think your roommate like melted your brain a long time ago. That's why you think crazy thoughts now.
Well, what you just said has more science backing it up than what he said. Let's just say that.
Probably. You're complaining about 90. You choose to basically live in. I don't even know why 88's a problem for you. I'm getting more mad the more I think about it.
I do love, this is another example where like I brought this entire topic to the table because I was ready to I came in, no pun intended, hot, ready to just like have this be me bitching about my last week. And I'm defending my apartment? Like, what's happening? Why am I being put in the position of defending this? And you're the ones that are upset. You didn't even have to experience it.
I'm going through flashbacks right now. 78 is not a temperature to set your apartment to. It just isn't. You need to work on yourself.
I mean, here's the thing. I said 78, but I have not reached. Well, I technically reached the point of the summer where I turn on the heat, turn on the air conditioning. And I, honest to God, don't actually remember. I have a terrible memory. So like, once the air conditioning is working, I might set it to 78, and for all reality, it might happen that I'll be like, actually, let's get it down to 75. Like I might shift it after setting initially at 78. I don't know, but my plan is to start at 78.
Now, so I will say that some units just aren't as good as other units. Like when I lived in an apartment, like 68 feels like the 73 it feels like now. But still, I would say 70.
I'm talking about what your box is reporting, though. So, like, if you only have a dial to work off of, that's one thing. But if you have something giving you feedback for what it is in the room, or if you have a thermometer or whatever, that's
so
what
I do, and I will say it is weird because I remember when I was working in an office regularly, that office was notoriously cold in the summer, and I remember one day I brought in. I have this Galileo Thermometer. Do you know what that is?
Why would I know that?
I know Galileo.
It's basically a thermometer. It's like an ancient technology. It's like basically there are these little bulbs with liquid in them, and they're floating in a tube of liquid, and as the temperature rises, different bulbs raise. So like right now it's between, and it's every 4 degrees. So right now my thermometer is telling me it's between 76 and 80 degrees in my apartment, which matches what my digital thermometer is saying is 78. I
only half followed what you just said. It sounded like nonsense, and then you just started spouting off numbers.
The point is, I have a very old school thermometer that works surprisingly well. And I at work had a friend who had a digital thermometer that she would be like, "Oh my gosh, it's 74 in this building, but it feels so much colder. Why does it feel like it's 66 when it's 74? That doesn't make sense." And I was like, well, let me bring in my thing and like test it that way. Maybe your thermometer is just miscalibrated or something. And I brought this in and it confirmed the temperature digital thing said. So I do think it's possible that different degrees feel very different for whatever reason in different spaces.
Okay, there's no way that you thought it was 8 to 10 degrees difference than what it was, though.
I'm telling you, I would be at work and I would be like, I almost need a sweater. I'm so cold. But then I would be at home and my temperature would be set lower and I would feel kind of hot.
At 74, you'd be freezing.
Well, again, it didn't feel to me like what I think of as 74. I don't know why it felt so cold. It just did.
Maybe your devices are just broken.
Are you thinking of a dream that you had?
No.
It was probably a fever dream. Was it while your heat was out?
You've never been surprised by a temperature reading? You never thought like, oh, it's kind of cold in here. What's the temperature? Oh, it's like 72. It's not that cold. You've never thought that?
No, I have perfect internal temp. I know exactly when it goes above 72.
See, I only get that way when it's 78 in my house.
Okay, well, your baby's
you've said that you love heat, which is still weird to me.
I don't love heat.
Yeah, you've said that. You said that on the show.
I said I would prefer to have no heat to no AC.
You said you like going out in the heat. I'm not talking about in your house.
Are you talking about a different episode?
Yeah.
I prefer heat over cold, yeah, for sure. Who doesn't?
A lot of people.
Well, they're crazy.
I prefer cold over heat.
Yeah, crazy.
Well, yeah, that doesn't help my cause. You're an absolute nutter with temp.
Oh my god, if I slowly turn into the guy who only likes the extremes.
Yeah.
Been infected with my roommate's bug.
Like, I prefer the cold. I prefer 72.
It's gotta be either 104 or 12.
Okay, I don't know which segments we're gonna do tonight. We're not moving through them very quick, and I don't even know if I can bother asking you about living an AC-free life. You have no idea what that means. Let's go with our first segment. Let's go with first world problems. So,
first world problems.
Thank you. Yeah,
Thought it needed a jingle.
We're gonna use that going forward.
Great.
Can you hit it one more time?
First world problems.
You cut out. Can you do that again?
First world problems.
All right. So we've established that we all have heard of AC. Pantsman may have never actually experienced it, so this will be interesting. It'll be interesting to hear what his answers is. Pantsman, you are acting czar, so you go ahead and pick our order. I don't know if we're going to do build the best. We'll see.
Let's do Muscle v. Jeeves, then me.
All right. The old MJP. So, Muscle V, what to you is worse than not having AC?
Yeah, I would say not having any power, because don't you need power to power the AC?
Yeah, I think that's kind of cheating, though.
Well, okay, no, I think that's fair. Let's say this. For the purpose of this, your AC either works or you don't need it, but the power is out. So like you're not overheating, but you don't have any other power for anything else.
Yeah, that's still saying no power.
So you're at perfect temp, but you have just nothing to do. You think that's worse?
Yeah. If you don't have any power, how are you supposed to play video games, watch TV, or do anything else important in your life?
Give me the temp all day. First of all, we have phones nowadays. You absolutely can. It's not like
but
the 90s.
You don't.
You can get by with no power.
You don't have Wi-Fi.
Well, that's fine. I probably am in a place that has cell service.
Wait. Jeeves, are you saying you've got one of them newfangled phones that doesn't need Wi-Fi to access the internet?
Wait, they sell those?
That's right. Yeah, I've got some version of iPhone, I think. It actually gets service pretty much everywhere, but
yeah,
I'm sure in the deep forest it doesn't.
The problem though with that
might be, I don't know.
The problem with that is, yes, you've got a phone and that's great, but either you use it up and the battery dies and then you don't have a phone, or you can't really use your phone because you're saving the battery in case you have like an emergency need for it.
Let's say no power and low battery on your phone.
Oof. Oh, I had that once where I hadn't charged my phone yet, and it was like near the end of the day, and then the power went out, and I was like, fuck. I don't have any power in my phone.
There's like a million ways to get power to your phone, though. Like, I've got 2 battery packs here.
Solar
I've got
power?
2 of those portable ones. What?
Solar power?
You can just put your phone out in the sun. It might work.
I heard.
there's all
But I
kinds
feel
of
like
Friction.
I feel like we're losing sight of the spirit of this question. The question is not how to get around the thing that is obnoxious to you. The question is, what would you live without? And he's saying power. So he doesn't have a phone. He doesn't have electricity. He doesn't have Wi-Fi. He doesn't have TV. He doesn't have video games.
I think that's 2 separate questions. Is no power in your apartment and also your phone is dead. Like, I think those are 2 separate answers to me.
There's a power.
I have done power outages with the phone just fine.
What if the cell towers are down?
Problems.
Yeah, cell towers are down with this power outage.
You're saying there's a zombie apocalypse?
No, they can be down.
Yeah, when have you experienced that? Cell towers down because the power went out?
I don't even know how you would check that.
Yeah.
I have no idea I don't know if a cell tower's ever been down. I don't know if they do that.
Yeah, because typically, in my experience, a power outage, unless it's like really catastrophic and like citywide, usually a power outage is somewhat localized, so it's not necessarily going to affect every cell tower in your region.
I'm just saying, worst case, you guys.
Did you say typically with a CH?
What? I said typically.
Oh, I thought maybe you cut out a little. I heard typically, and it's a phrase I'm going to figure out how to use.
Typically too.
So the question
was. Typically
was.
Speaking, I'm more of a salt and vinegar man.
The question was worst case scenario, right? Worse than not having AC is not having power, cell tower, all that crap.
Stop saying cell tower. So you're saying that the only thing worse than having no AC is the combination of your AC going out and not having a phone.
I mean, are you going to argue that's not worse?
Well, I'm saying like there's things I think that are less dramatic that are worse.
Sure.
That is definitely worse.
We haven't even touched on, by the way, I think one of the biggest issues that comes from a power outage, which is the whole food situation. You got a fridge and a freezer full of food. The question is like, do you keep those doors closed so hopefully the power comes on quick enough that
you keep the doors closed? Don't be crazy.
You eat everything in your fridge and freezer.
But at what point do you decide you have to eat everything because it's all going to go bad anyway?
Immediately.
We have not had those kind of power outages in our adult life. I don't think.
But the thing is, it's not about whether it will last that long. The question is,
is this going to be the one?
Well, yeah, you don't know. You don't know how long it's going to last. And I will say, like, I've had power outages that felt in the moment like my life is over. I don't know.
This is where I die.
Seriously, it's like I don't know what to do with myself. I don't know what should I be worried? Should I not? Should I just relax? Like, what do I do? And then it comes back, and it's like
you should be worried.
It comes back, and I'm just like, oh right. It was 1 hour of my life.
Well, especially now, you could check with the electric people. Just be like, hey, when's this coming back? They're like, oh, here's your 4-hour window. And every time our guys have been ahead of it. So
I'm thinking of the last time I experienced a power outage, and honestly, it was so long ago that I don't even remember what I did. I remember being grateful that I had a gas stove because I still had not made dinner yet. And I was like, I mean, I need to use a flashlight to see it, but at least I can cook dinner.
That's a good point. I got an electric stove.
You're fucked.
Yeah. Worse than not having AC. You can't even make yourself fucking dinner.
Well,
you can't even have a grilled cheese?
You can go buy dinner. Your car works.
Yeah, but what if
not in this scenario?
Yeah, in this scenario.
Cell tower's down.
Cell tower's down.
The cell tower's down. I can't drive, man.
Restaurants don't have power.
I don't know where to get anywhere.
Yeah.
The only thing worse, we have established, if you're Muscle V, the only thing worse than having a temporarily broken AC unit is the zombie apocalypse. That's it.
I didn't even establish a time frame. But...
Second power goes out, I'm freaking out.
Oh God, That's interesting, though. Like, if the question is what's worse for an hour or a day or a week, that's one
Yeah,
thing.
very
But if it's
different.
like, if the question is what would you have to live the rest of your life without? Oof.
Mm-hmm. So does that change your answer at all, Muscle V? If it's you would never would have AC again, it just doesn't exist.
I think you
But I
would
have
still rather
power.
have power than AC
Yeah, I'm taking power over
somehow.
AC.
I would love to see the unit, the AC unit you've built that is working when power is gone.
I don't know. I could give up the internet. Giving up AC would be really hard. I don't need lights.
All right, Jeeves, I want to hear your answer.
I need
You can't
Frigidaire.
even do your job without power though. So like you would never.
I don't care about my job. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're living in that world, your career is really the least of your problems.
Yeah, we'll give up this show. It'll be no problem. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, for me, guys, I don't know if you've heard the supply chain. It's a nightmare. Have you guys been following this?
I've never even heard that phrase, supply chain. Not in the last 2 years, anyway.
So the supply chain, I guess, is this magic made-up infrastructure that says every once in a while you just can't have the things you want.
Oh, I know. Is that like the gold thing that you put around your neck and it's got like a little cross?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, that's the Last Supper chain. That's a
Okay.
different thing. No, this is just really where it affects me and all the hardworking Americans out there is every once in a while you roll up to Starbucks, and these fuckers, they're out of everything nowadays. I don't know if you've tried this. They were out of grande cups the other day. They were out of salt one day. Like fucking crazy things going on at the Starbucks.
All right.
I'm not a coffee drinker, but what do you need salt for at a Starbucks?
For salted caramel, don't be insane. You sound insane right now.
Are you
No,
saying?
I didn't make that connection.
Are you saying it's worse to not get your coffee at Starbucks than it is to have AC?
I was
Not
gonna
have AC.
expand it out. I mean, not being able to have grande coffee is pretty tough, though. Like in the morning, you're talking about the workday. If I'm going into my workday without a grande cup, like what am I doing?
While you're sitting in 85-degree temperatures, yeah. Let me have my hot coffee.
Well, no, I'm not. First of all, it's a cold coffee, you psychopath. It's a nitro. Thank you very much. It basically tastes like Guinness. It's amazing. And yeah, you can't get it in Venti, like because it's too much caffeine. So they don't give it to you in the bigger cup, and for some reason they can't pour out a grande amount in the venti cup. So you're just stuck with tall like an animal. I was basically a zombie. That you talk about the Walking Dead or whatever. I was a zombie at work that day. It's a nightmare.
Why didn't you just like not drink all of the venti?
No, they don't serve it to you in venti. They won't. They're like, this is too much caffeine. You can't have that big of a cup with the nitro coffee.
Oh, you're saying they not that they. I thought you were saying that they wouldn't fill a venti cup up to a grande amount for you. They'd only fill it up all the way. But you're saying they won't even give you a full venti of it.
Yeah, they won't figure out how to make it work. Yeah, they're just like, you can't have that size, and we don't have the middle size. You're fucked.
Weird.
You're just absolutely fucked. And I'm like, no, but it's the morning. This is a desperation thing. And they're like, we don't care. We're ruthless. And I'm like, well, what's wrong? And they're like, the supply chain. So, I mean, how's that? That's pretty bad.
I mean, no. I mean, we're living through the supply chain issues, and
it's
I mean,
a waking nightmare.
it's bad, but like, I would rather have that with air conditioning.
You don't use air conditioning.
Only because I don't have it right now.
No, my actual answer though is no coffee. Coffee would be very difficult.
By the way, I would say my boyfriend is somebody from a much warmer climate, and so he does like it warmer. Like he gets very cold very easily. But I'm very grateful that he like you meet some of these nut jobs. I know you're going to accuse me of being this, but
You are
you
one.
meet. You meet these nut jobs who are like, oh, I don't like the AC. I just like the windows open and the fresh air. Like, fuck fresh air. Fresh air never did anything for me.
I almost never use my windows.
Yeah.
I
But
will
I'm
say,
grateful to have a boyfriend who, while he prefers warmer temperatures, is very down for the cause when it comes to blasting that AC.
good. Being in a house though, I will say there's too many windows, which is a fun humble brag, but more importantly, like I will actually leave one or two open. Like I'll get everything back and like a week later, I'm like, oh fuck, I left that window open just for a long time.
Well, you've got a pretty. I feel like both of you have pretty decent sized houses. I feel like I'm walking around my apartment right now, and like it does not cost that much to heat and cool this place. I can't imagine, like, you probably have double or maybe even triple my square footage. I can't imagine trying to manage that much space in terms of heating and cooling. It's expensive.
Definitely. But it was embarrassing the last time I did it. I left the bedroom window open for like a week.
But there are people that are like, oh yeah, I turn the heat up real high in the winter, but then I leave a window open. Like,
Why?
what?
What's
They're
the
living their
purpose of
best.
that?
They're living their best life. Good for them.
That's
I do that.
stupid.
I do that in the car, and it makes Lil Fuse very mad. I will blast AC but have the windows down,
What?
or even blast heat and have the windows down, depending on the.
Even on really mild days where it's not so hot that you need the AC, I almost never put my windows down because my car, maybe it's just the way they designed it, I don't know, but I feel like the last two cars I've had, if the windows are open, unless you're on like a very slow street, it creates a weird effect with the vibration and like the pressure and the sound. Like it is
No,
very
you have
odd.
to have both. You have to have windows on both sides open.
Yeah.
Mm.
So if like you're the driver, you have to have the passenger seat open. If you have the back window open, you have to have the other side back window open.
Maybe, but I feel like I've
No,
had both
definitely.
open, especially on the highway. Like on the highway, it is just not
Oh no,
possible to
I don't
have.
use
Yeah.
windows
Yeah.
on the highway. I'm not an
Yeah.
animal.
Okay.
I'm not a
Okay.
dog.
The other thing, and this is the thing, I tend to listen to podcasts, not music. Um, and whenever I listen to a podcast, and like it's like if I have the windows down in the car, I suddenly get very self conscious that people are like hearing what I'm listening to and judging me.
Who cares?
Yeah,
I do. I don't know why.
I've listened to this show, blasting it through in the car, and I forget what we were talking about the Power Ranger episode. I was driving through my neighborhood. I had to pause it.
Yeah. It's bad enough that you were listening to a podcast about the Power Rangers, but then to
Yeah.
find out that it was you listening to your own podcast about the Power Rangers.
I don't care about that. It's the like it was like your stuff, like the GIMP stuff and all that. It was like, oh, I can't be listening to that with kids around.
Right. I forgot about all of that content.
Yeah, it's all out there. All right, Pantsman, how about you? What's worse for you?
So for me, and this is tied to direct experience I had not having AC. The worst thing is to be kind of in a rural area without close friends nearby. That
Oh,
would be worse. Because one of the great kind of alleviators of this week has been okay, it's hot in my apartment, it sucks in my apartment. I had no less than 3 friends say to me, if you want to spend the night, if you want to come over here at my place, like I've got AC running, come on over. I was able to walk on Thursday night when I was so hot and just couldn't be in that apartment until it cooled off a little bit. I was able to just walk down the street to a nice little restaurant I like and grab a sandwich and sit down in their AC and just enjoy that and have a delicious meal. And like, it is nice to have options to get like, obviously this is a scenario when I have AC or I don't have AC, but like, it was nice to be able to go and do these things in that bind when something went wrong in my apartment and I didn't want to be there. And I feel like even if I had the AC, if there was some other reason that I did not want to be in my house by myself, it's so nice to have people that you can go see or things to go to. That is much, much nicer than being in a place where you're just like, oh, there's a Taco Bell, and if I drive 40 minutes, I can see a friend if they're available.
you say that now, but when Muscle V's zombie apocalypse shows up, you're going to be really regretting everything you just said.
I'm not, let's be honest. I'm not going to survive very long, no matter where I am in the zombie apocalypse. I might as well have one last great meal.
Now, I will ask, how come you didn't buy like a window unit just to like get you through the week?
I know this is the thing that you are very comfortable doing, buying expensive items and then returning them when your emergency is over.
Yes.
I'm not sure I'm not sure where I land on the ethics of that, but more importantly, it just sounds like a hassle. I got to go to the store and I got to pick out a thing, I got to install it, and then I got to undo it. Oh my god! And also, I didn't think it would. I thought I'd have AC by now, but yeah, it just seemed like a lot of effort.
Don't
And
forget,
if you're already comfortable at 85 degrees, then
Yeah.
why would you buy?
Look, if we get to Thursday and I either have word or no idea how much longer this is going to last, there's a chance I'll do something like that. But yeah, it just seems like a hassle.
well,
It's
it's
definitely a hassle.
Yeah, it's a little bit easier with like space heaters because you can just like plug it in. With like the air,
Right.
air conditioners, you have to put it into a window and stuff, so it's a little
Yeah.
harder.
I mean, I wouldn't do a proper wall unit because I don't trust myself to install that. But like, and then you have to.
portable
But
one?
I've had like
What
we
do you mean by
had in our
what do you mean by a proper wall unit?
like the one that actually hangs outside your wall.
The window, you mean?
That's what I mean.
Why? I was gonna say, why do you keep saying wall? What the fuck are you gonna install?
In my defense,
You know what? Maybe
I
you
thought I
shouldn't
was
do this.
using the word window, but it's 78 degrees in my apartment, so forgive me.
It's too cool. You can't think. What? What do you mean you can't install a window unit? Those are easy notes. That's the whole point.
I've never done it. I don't know what goes into
You
it.
put it in
seems
your
like
window, and you hope it doesn't. You just make sure it doesn't fall out.
you hope it doesn't. That's my problem. I would fear it would fall out, and then I'm out. I don't know how much they cost. $100, $400, 1,000. I don't know what they cost.
My portable AC was 300, so I can't imagine
Well, I would go for a portable
wall
because
unit being cost like. 100.
What's a portable AC? What's that?
you had
That's
one.
what we
you talking
had
about? What?
when we lived together.
You remember that thing that you plugged the hose into the window?
Yeah. Wait, you had your own version. You had your own Muscle V?
Yeah, of course. We had it at the same time.
Yeah, but I was sleeping in the day. I was working third shift. So I had to.
That's true.
It's just super hot.
It's because we only had that one wall unit as
It got
Pantsman
upwards
was
of 76 degrees in our apartment. I had to get something.
Yeah. Actually, I'm pretty sure ours was a wall unit because it wasn't in a window. That first year in that apartment.
Yeah, that's like what I thought Pantsman was describing.
That would be insane for me to actually install
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, it's just like, what are you gonna cut a hole into your wall? What are you talking about?
I kept saying wall. I was thinking window.
Okay.
And then when I lived with Pantsman, they charged us $25 per AC per month, and I already had this portable one, so we just put this portable one into the living room, and then we each had an AC in our bedroom.
The portable one's kind of a pain in the ass though, because you got to get the. It depends on your windows, because we had the weird horizontal opening windows in our apartment, so that was a problem, and they don't work as well as the window unit.
Ours actually
no
worked pretty
question.
good.
I feel like if I was permanently replacing my AC, sure, I'd get a window unit and make that work. I'm talking about like at most, I'm thinking a couple weeks, but even that, I mean, if it's not done,
It's been a week.
Summer will be
it's
over.
been a week
Is that what you're talking
already,
about?
so.
well, yeah. Technically, it's been like slightly less than a week since I actually put in the request. But thing is, I'm saying like Muscle V zombie apocalypse scenario is I go another 2 weeks without AC. I'm expecting it'll be done this week. I just don't actually know that yet for sure.
Well, we will be following along the story. I certainly will be following along the story closely. Horrified listening to everything you've said.
Look,
All right.
as a white man who has lived his entire life in the middle class, sometimes you have to be you have to face adversity, as you do.
So that you can put it in your college admission letter.
Exactly. This is what I would put in my college admission letter. No, if I were to do that, it would have been the 2 weeks I went without internet.
Oh, that's pretty bad. Yeah, no internet would be tough nowadays.
I should temper that by saying without Wi-Fi. I didn't have no internet.
You had plenty of internet access.
Anyway.
All right. Well, we're not going to go ahead and do our big segment, but I do want to quickly hear. I asked you guys to come up with solutions for Pantsman, so some creative ways that you could keep the apartment cool. So we won't review them. I just want to hear what you guys had. So let's just keep the previous order. Muscle V, what were you going to propose for Pantsman? How was he going to keep the apartment cool?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to, like I said, go buy a unit just to use until you have your AC back.
I would call that a creative solution, which was what I told you.
Oh, your AC broke? Buy more AC.
Buy something that's going
Might as well
to
just
get
move.
you cool air.
Yeah, all right. Horrible answer. Again, we're not judging, but that was a
real answer.
Terrible job. I was going to propose that we could install. You know how you guys have done liquid cooling, for different reasons.
What?
Liquid cooling. So that's where you use liquid to cool whatever you've got going on.
I've heard of it. I've never used it in any way, shape, or form.
Well, in this case, you would use it for your apartment. We could install like a river, so that would help cool down your apartment. It would just flow right through and carry out all the heat.
I will say I was slightly worried of that exact scenario yesterday because when I went to bed yesterday, it was supposed to rain a lot, but it was too warm to close the windows. So I was like, I might wake up with just like rain in all my windows.
That would have helped. That would have kept the temp down.
Well, I didn't experience it. I don't know if it didn't rain or if it just rained and didn't get in, like it didn't like blow into the windows or not.
All right, Pantsman, what do you got for us? What were you going to propose to yourself, even though you weren't going to follow it?
I thought about this a lot, and I considered ways I could make it work, but it didn't quite make sense. So I do not own a box fan. So I don't have I have overhead fans, but I don't have a box fan.
I got a box fan. It works.
And I thought that would be one, like if I really wanted to either suck all the hot air out or pull all the cool air in, a box fan would be the way to accomplish that. But something else I saw on the internet and seemed like it was at least worth trying is that you know when you're going on like a picnic or something and you want to get some ice for the cooler, so you go to the store, you buy a big old bag of ice.
Yeah.
You buy a bag or two of ice, and then you put the fan in front of it and you blow the icy air at you.
Actually, that works. I mean, it doesn't work. It's not like a one-for-one replacement.
It would work better than nothing. Because I don't have a box fan, and for the same reason I didn't want to buy an AC unit, I was like, this is an item I'd have to buy, and then I got to store it, or I'd have to return it. Like, it just seemed like a hassle. So I just said, maybe I'll just buy the $2 bag of ice and not have a fan with it, and just have ice in my apartment.
Well, so a lot of athletes, after they do sports stuff, they do ice baths. So you could do like an ice bath to cool down.
See, that's a real suggestion. That's
there
actually
you go, finally.
I will say though, I thought about that. I really, really don't like a cold shower. Not a fan. But over the weekend, I did take a few lukewarm showers. They were not hot by any means, God forbid. But they also weren't cold.
You would be dead if you took a hot shower.
Oh my God, what a mistake that would have been. But they were definitely like cool. They were definitely not frigid, but they were not hot. They were kind of in between, and that felt quite nice.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
Flying?
Yeah.
I didn't know you could fly.
Yeah, an airplane.
You can fly.
You should fly more often.
We're very bad at it.
Yeah, we're not pretty good at it at all. It's easy to die.
Since we're not in kill
Oh,
battles,
you're such a pussy. You could have gotten a lot closer.
You know what? Why don't you quickly do some more coaching up of Muscle V. I think that's a great idea. Rather than start into a segment or anything.
Tell me when to turn around.
All right, I will. I will tell you. Not yet. You got plenty of room. You got plenty of room.
No, I had to. I was out of bounds.
What does that mean?
There's an out of bounds. If you go out of bounds, you die after like 3
But
seconds.
you know what out of bounds means?
I guess I just didn't. It looked like he had plenty of runway.
The out of bounds isn't very clear.
And you can't go into the gas either, because then you die.
I didn't tell you to go in the gas.
Yeah, it's like right now.
Yeah, but you implied it. Yeah, I don't think
That was
we have...
better. That was less.
This actually works pretty
Lame.
well.
It's less lame. What's working well?
Being an airplane.
So he's flying. He's flying around and he's like pivoting. He flies to Godzilla, shoots at him, and then turns around and flies to King Kong.
Yeah.
But he doesn't get very close. He's not really taking any risks.
I can't, because see, it says return to combat. If I stay there, then I die.
Let's just for Godzilla. King Kong, you can get right up.
I don't know. Okay, I know I'm saying you should get closer, but I don't understand why you went through the fire beam coming out of Godzilla's mouth.
I ignored it. I said fuck
He
it.
ignored it. Yeah, he ignored it. That's something we do
Seems
sometimes.
like a poor plan. I think you got to land, buddy. I feel like you're really stretching the ability of this plane. It is not on its.
Yeah, I'm gonna go until it blows up.
As you do.
Why is it getting so much more smoky?
Oh, that was the
They're
gas.
not-
That was the gas, I think. That's what you're looking at.
Well, I know it's the gas, but I'm saying why is the gas surrounding the cool parts, which is the monsters?
Because that's how you die.
For some reason, King Kong will hop in and out of the zone.
Yeah.
And like a lot of the time, he'll just be out of the playable area for us, but still in like former playable area.
Can you
Godzilla-
kamikaze?
I could. He's
Wait,
like,
You should.
yeah,
he's
you
too
should
far.
try that.
He's too far. If he jumps in, I'll definitely kamikaze.
Do it to Godzilla. See if.
Alright, I'm about to commit suicide. Let's go.
No, you're about to commit kamikaze side.
Suicide.
I'm watching.
Alright, let's do it.
Godspeed.
Do 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 do.
Did it work?
Oh, I died. I died immediately.
We know you died. Oh, I died too. Which is fine because we got to get out of here anyway. Did it work? Did you get points?
I don't know. Didn't really say. Just said you died.
I would say that you probably didn't get points then. I think it's fair to say that that did not work.
I had a lot of damage though. Look at that damage.
Look at that damage, though. Good work.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I don't think we solved any of your problems, Pantsman, and turns out you don't have any, other than being a crazy person. Who maybe your old roommate screwed you up and you've never recovered. I don't know. But why don't we go around the horn and get out of here anyway? Muscle V, what do you got?
Yeah. Anything above 74 is crazy. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Well, I don't know what Pantsman's talking about.
I don't know what he's talking about. Pantsman, how about you?
I am not an animal.
False. What would Boo say?
I like this on us. Get a Schwitz.
That's pretty good. I just want to thank all of you if you're still with us tonight. We appreciate you keeping up with our very erratic schedule. I think we'll be shooting tomorrow at 10ish. Who knows? Maybe Elon and the hackers will be after us yet again, but I think we'll put something out there. For any of you that don't have AC, I want to remind you, 80 degrees, 85 degrees, these temperatures are not okay. Go get help immediately. For now, though, God Daddy's out.
Peace.